Good afternoon.
Y'all are wrong. Y'all are just wrong.
Refresh your browsers, y'all, because today is Wednesday, March 14th, 2012.
Over the hump.
And you're listening to Room 3026 Live. This is episode 486.
That's it.
A 60-minute conversation ranging from technology to pop culture. And I'm your host, Damon Nolan. We are broadcasting live right here in Durham, North Carolina. It is lunch hour in the Onyx Tower.
Show enough.
Today, my co-hosts are back in the house.
Full compliment.
We got Mr. Derek Brinson.
The world's funkiest man I am. Stay funky, my friends.
And Mr. Michael Render.
Yeah, man, I does it. Still doing it because I'm sick.
As always, we encourage listener participation. You can join the conversation. All you got to do is call us now.
Call me now.
At 646-929-2689. Again, at 646-929-2689. You can also chat with us right now over here on blogtalkradio.com/Damon Nolan. I'll give a special thanks to Mr. Darren Tyler for providing our theme song. It's called Without You. And that reminds me that without you, we would not be where we are today. So let me say thank you very much for what you do. Now let me turn over to the chat room and say hi to those that are walking in the room right now. We got Mr. Alan Tran. We also know him as The Man. We got DB Funky in the house. Dyslexic in America, that's LL.
Oogie.
We got Egowant, Aaron Clifford, our brother from the north. Canada. Want to also say what's up to all you listening live and in archive. Those calling in from the phones, thanks for joining us. Today's episode, we're going to talk about a number of things, but let me give you the first two stories that we'll talk about in just a moment. If you hold on tight, we're going to talk about a young lady who's making money from Pinterest.
Really?
Yes. It's such a new service, yet still people are making money on it. We're also going to talk a little bit about a new study that came out about the iPad and its new competitors. Do you think the iPad will be around much longer? I have the latest information that may tell you otherwise. Yes, that and much, much more in this episode of Room 3026 Live. But let me say, first of all, hi to Michael Render, who is back in the house.
Welcome back.
You know, he's been out of the office the last couple of days, and, you know, it's been a little quiet around here.
Guess who's busy?
But just want to say, what's up, man? How you doing? What's going on?
Man, you know when your grandmother used to tell you, don't go outside without a hat?
Uh-huh. Well, somebody used to say that to me.
Yeah, well, over the weekend, I did that, and
you got sick?
I sound like
Barry White?
Yeah. We ain't got no music. I'm about to go into
Without
the string section.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to, I'm trying to sound normal, but it's hard.
It's hard to sound normal.
Yeah, so I sound raspy.
Uh-huh. You know, some people like raspiness.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
You just, hey, girl. How you doing? My name's Michael Render. I'm
sick. Can I get some of your chicken noodle soup?
Right?
And some Mucinex.
That's nasty. That's you ever like been sick and you got like a pile of tissue paper on the side of the bed because either you're too lazy to get up to throw it all away or you missed the trash can on the side of the bed.
That's even worse.
Right? And you got like, and it's like a trail of just like dried up mucus on the side of your face.
And the germs reside in those tissues, though.
They do.
Yeah.
And then somebody has to pick it up.
Yeah.
You know? And depending on how sick you are, you know, I really feel sorry for those of us who live with us.
You just have to make the sick room and
right?
go there.
But, you know, there's a secret, though, about being sick, right? You have to act like you're well. That's the secret that I have learned. My mother was a nurse, or is a nurse. I should say was. She is a nurse. She doesn't do the kind of nursing that I was used to when I was growing up. Now she works for another kind of hospital, a mental hospital, which is a little bit different than when she worked at a regular hospital with like recovering surgeries and those kind of things. But the thing that I learned about being sick,
Right.
you got to get up. You got to get dressed. You got to take a shower, right? You got to do all the things that you normally do when you're well. You got to act when you're sick. And you got to open up the windows, right? You got to make your bed. You got to get comfortable. You got to get up. And a lot of times,
someone has to come and give me chicken soup.
Well, you can still do that. You can still do that, but you have to act well.
No, I have
That's
the
the
sniffles.
secret.
Someone has to come and give me chicken soup.
Well, you can do that for like the first few hours.
But like, what if you're sore and like you're just weak and you just can't roll out the bed?
You still should get up. At
Like,
least,
how do you
at least
get out?
get up. Huh?
How do you get out the bed, especially when you tucked in your covers?
Well, then this goes back to Derek's point. Have someone come and do.
Someone has to come hook me up.
Yeah, act like you real sick, right? And roll over. I need somebody to bathe me, and they just like pat you down with a little bit of towel and hot water and all that.
Oh,
I mean, not that it's ever happened to me or anything,
right.
but I'm just saying. I would imagine that if you ever got sick like that, someone should come wipe you down. I'm just saying.
Wipe me down.
Right. I don't know if you
Wipe
say
it
it like
down.
that. I mean, whatever the nurses say, hey, we need a bath or whatever it is. That's the thing I would really be ashamed of is like having some stranger come in and wipe you down. You're like, I don't know you,
It don't matter.
And they take your skin off. They're wiping so hard. Like, no, it's not what I was hoping for. I was hoping for something a little more
Not exactly what I had in mind. Is
Valentine's Day-ish kind of, thing.
See, that's dangerous.
Anyway, let me say hi to Miss Eileen Smith, and also we have guest 4650. Welcome to the show. We're just warming up. We're going to be jumping right on in just a moment into our latest stories, but let me welcome you guys to the show. I'm glad you can make it on this beautiful Wednesday day. It is almost 80 degrees outside.
It is pretty out there.
It is going to be awesome.
And I'm sick because I have a coat on, so.
Yeah, yo,
I'm
he
cold.
does. Just don't make me sick is all I'm asking.
I'm trying not to, man.
Just don't make me
Hey,
sick.
I
didn't touch you.
I wasn't about to come in today.
I'm
but
not
then
sipping on anything that you sipping on.
Work looked crazy, so I was like, let me
Well,
stop the bleeding.
You just need to have a computer next time at home.
I got a computer.
Then you need to use it.
Man,
You
what?
need internet
Yeah,
access,
dude.
apparently.
I got that too.
Well, then get
I
on
was
it.
on the net. You saw the post.
I saw Facebook. That's what I saw.
So that's how you know.
Let me say what's up to the Larry Doby Show. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. All right, so let's
First
jump
offender.
right on into our first story of the day. We do this under a segment we call Feed Watch.
Feed watch.
Feed Watch sounds
Hey,
a
I
little
can
bit
do it.
like
Feed
this.
watch.
Feed watch.
Feed watch.
Mike's been away for a while. Perhaps he needs a quick refresher, a review
No.
as to the nature of Feed Watch. What is that?
Feed Watch is where we consistently comb the blogs.
Sporadically.
You don't have to.
Semi-regularly.
We give you the news that you can use because that's what we do, of course. So you best not snooze. You will not lose unless, of course, well, you just kind of like in singing the blues.
Or like being sick.
A
Yeah.
boo-hoo.
Yeah.
My throat is scratchy.
It was, man.
So the first story we want to talk a little bit about. Now, we've talked about Pinterest on this show before.
What is that?
Pinterest, for those of you that don't know, is a very, very quickly growing, very popular website where you can pin pictures and videos to your
stuff.
board.
Yep.
Right, so many times some of the early people that got on, post pictures of their favorite outfits. They post
Crafts.
pictures of crafts, of home decor. Right,
cooked
all my techie people out there, they're starting to do these infographics left and right now.
Yeah.
I love those.
Different gadgets that they like. Anyway, it's really becoming very popular right now. And I have a story here coming from the Next Web. It's about a young lady who is now making money on Pinterest.
How does one manage to monetize
Well,
Pinterest?
That is a very good question. And I
It is
saw
the
this and I
question
said,
that I
I'd like to know. Well, what she is doing is she is actually creating a digital and print magazine, which she calls Pinned Monthly. And essentially what it does is she's curating, as she says, the best of Pinterest. So she takes those pictures and images and whatnot, and she pulls them off into a magazine that she's going to be printing that has all of these different pictures and whatnot. Well, so some of the early questions obviously is, well, aren't there some copyright issues with this? I mean, how do you just take people's stuff off of another service and put it into a magazine that you are now going to sell.
And why would I go to the magazine?
Well, that's a good point, because she actually asked the question. Well, let me answer the first question. The first question is, what about copyright issues? Well, number one, everybody who is in the magazine, who makes it into the magazine, does so because they have given expressed permission to opt into this magazine. So, number one,
That works.
copyright holders are giving her permission to put them in. Number two, to answer your question, Miss Penn, as she is called,
If that
is her real name.
is her real name.
She's-
There's your first step.
She tells in this interview that basically the inspiration behind starting the magazine was a passion for Pinterest and the great content that it helps surface, combined with a want to create a slightly different take on the traditional magazine. Essentially, what she likes to say is there's so much stuff out there on Pinterest and on the internet in general, which is why people like curating information. So what she wanted to do was to give you the best of the best over the last month, and she wants to give it to you in a way that you can enjoy it. So if you are you like print, you can get a print magazine. If you like digital, you can get a digital magazine, which will give you all the things that you would want.
Or just go to Pinterest.
Again, how do you curate the best of the best? Because if you go to Pinterest now,
Right.
you get everything that you're following.
Right.
So how do you find the best of the best? The top 10 things this month, or the top 20 things this month.
I go through and like it.
Yes. And so what she's doing is Miss Penn is saying, hey, Mike, I'm going to give you the best of the best. I'm going to give you the best that I have found over the last 30 days.
Save your
You know
strength.
none of my interests. You cannot help me.
Well, and
Save your clicks.
and that may be the difference between why you subscribe or don't subscribe to
Right,
the
right.
magazine.
So
I mean, it's a
how
cool
is she,
idea, though.
wait. Okay, so she's curating
Right.
the curated. So how's she making money out of this again?
Well, this is a magazine, and as most magazines go, there is a subscription fee. And
So she does have subscribers?
she will have subscribers. According to this, again, the first issue which has not been released yet. The first issue, which will be coming out soon, will be available in 3 different formats: PDF, Mobi, and EPUB. Now, if you want a digital version, you can get it for $3 per issue, or if you want the print version, you can get that for $9. And matter of fact, you
Per
can get a 12-month digital subscription for $13 or $12.99. Which obviously you'll save some money there. And then, or you get a 12-month digital and print subscription for $89.
Golly.
Yeah. But you're getting both. You're getting print and digital.
But the $9 print is per issue.
Yes. Yeah.
How many releases a year?
Looks like 12.
Okay.
That's what it looks like, once a month. Now, I do want to point out that this right here is not, she's not doing this for profit. She's doing it as a nonprofit organization. And according to her, the proceeds from this pinned monthly magazine will go to a global organization dedicated to literacy and gender equality in education, which is called Room to Read. So that could or could not be, it could be, it could be a good enough reason to maybe subscribe to it to help somebody out.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, and I don't know this agency at all, but I have to say this. I always feel a little skeptical about some of these different organizations that are out there. Like there was and I don't know this to be true, but here locally we had a Shoes for Haiti or something like. Have you guys heard about that? Mm-hmm. The Shoes for Haiti, and it was an agency here in our area where you would drop off your shoes at your organization, whether for us it was a church or whatever, and then she was supposed to take those shoes to Haiti to give to these people that needed shoes. Well, they sat in a warehouse. Based on the reports that I heard, she sat in a warehouse and never delivered those things to anyone. And then, of course, when you ask her, well, what happened? Why didn't you do it? She says, well, I didn't have the money to do it, or
What had happened
or I had to pay for this bill. And then she was taking money to pay for housing bills and other things besides what she was saying she needed it for. So, see, this is kind of where I get a little bit skeptical about these agencies. It's like, I don't know.
I am more and more doing
I
a little
don't
bit
know
of footwork for my
How I feel about that.
charitable contributions, especially those political ones. The few that I do make, I'm being a little more, shall we say, I'm asking a whole lot more questions. I'm doing a whole lot more digging
Mm-hmm.
than I have before.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was about to say, you can just go out and help Room to Read if you're really that concerned.
Right.
And just be like, hey, I didn't subscribe, but here's $9 or $3 or
Sure.
$89 or whatever she was charging.
Well, I think at the end of the day, though, it's interesting to see that people are beginning to make money on these services. And it's creative, right? Again, the question is like, what would cause you to think like, oh, I'll make a magazine out of this? So I think it's kind of cool that's the sort of the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's an interesting.
I don't know how long it'll last. Whenever you build something
endeavor.
like this on somebody else's idea, it always leaves you kind of open to like being undercut.
Yes.
Like what if Pinterest said, you know what, we're going to do that. But instead of charging $3, we're going to charge $2. And instead of, $9, we're going to charge $8. And you get the same service and we're going to give it to you. So it just kind of goes up in the air. But
Well, very much like Twitter has bought out many of those Twitter applications that others have developed for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really the Bill Gates school of success. You buy them out, or if they don't want to sell, you just take it and proprietize it.
Yes, welcome to Twitter. In any case, let me say hi to Little Bites, who's entered the room. That's Marianne. Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Good to see you. Okay, so let's move on to the next story. And this one here is we're going to talk about the iPad. And we're going to look at a new study. Huh?
Tim Arthur's going to get
one.
one.
I know he is. He hasn't admitted to it, but he will.
Thursday, right?
Yep. Well, the 16th. I'm sorry. I think it's Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday morning.
Okay.
So there's a new study that has come out, and this one has been published on Mashable, but it talks about how the iPad is still the king of tablets. However, you have some serious competition with the Kindle Fire, and other tablets are catching on. So here's sort of the rub, or here's sort of the summary of this latest report. So according to the last sales report by iPad or by Apple, they did very well. Right. As a matter of fact, I think they were in 54.7% in the last quarter of the market share. That's pretty good as far as tablets go.
Pretty deep penetration, as we would say.
But that number dropped from 61%. It dropped from 61.5% in the third quarter down to only 54% in the fourth quarter. And the excuse or the reason for that is because of this thing called the Amazon Kindle Fire, which is selling at $199. And many people who were I would assume, are price conscious. As a matter of fact, I thought about buying this as a gift for someone recently. And I said, well, if they really wanted a tablet, there's the Kindle Fire for $199, or there's the iPad for $399, $599, $699, $799.
They are
right?
They are radically different devices, though. At the end of the day, I mean.
But for what you're trying to do in most cases,
it really just depends. It really just depends.
Like they want to read
books,
books, but they still want to get to the internet, and you can do that with the Kindle Fire,
right.
And it's $199. Now we did see that the iPad 2 is going to drop to $299. Isn't that the new price?
Is it
the iPad 2, the one that
I've heard $399, but
$399
will make my ears perk a little bit.
Okay, $399. Excuse me. $499.
Don't tease me now.
$599. $699. Right. So, and Little Bite says love. Okay, I added a lot of loves in here, but basically she says, I love my Kindle Fire.
Love it.
And you see that right there is a reason why I think you're going to sell more Kindle Fires. Because if you said to me, I can get a Kindle Fire for $199 and get all these things, right, and do all these things, I can still play games on it. I mean, Patrick O'Keefe, we've sat in. I'm looking at Mike when I say this because he knows.
Yeah.
Because we were playing with it.
I synced it. And we're talking about a Kindle Fire.
And the Kindle Fire did exceedingly well.
And the little subscription piece is another advantage, to the library. You can get the movies and the music.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
$20 a year.
Yeah.
$20.
Is it $20?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
If you own the Kindle Fire?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You get all the movies.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier.
I didn't know that it was $20 though.
Because I was trying to do.
See, they turned the iPad model on its head. The iPad model is to really have a device that was where they make their money, and that kind of leads people into the App Store. But the Kindle, it does it the other way around. They have a cheap device, and they kind of draw you into the App Store from there.
Ego Ant says, every time I hear the word Kindle Fire, it translates to book burning in my brain.
Nice.
So we see that in the last quarter, basically, we're seeing that iPad's influence, as far as in the market go, is kind of going downhill. So here's what they're saying. It said that Apple shipped 15.4 million iPads in the fourth quarter,
Right.
which is actually more than they did in the third quarter, which is 11.1 million units. However, Amazon's Kindle Fire debuted at 4.7 million units shipped, which really put the Amazon into second place with 16.8% market share as far as talking about tablets. Now, what I find interesting is that according to this study, according to IDC, they believe that by the year 2016, which is the latter part of 2015, the Android tablet will take over the market. Although I'm not surprised because they've already done that with phones,
Yeah.
smartphones.
Yeah.
They seem to be having a hard time finding somebody who's going to make one that is feature or processor rich enough at a cheap enough price.
Talking about the Apple iPad.
The Android.
Oh,
They seem they haven't quite found somebody that'll make it faster or more feature rich than the Kindle for a price that's competitive with the Kindle. Although,
but isn't Kindle supposed to be built on top of Android?
Yes, and I have seen a couple of articles that will you can more or less root your device and make it a full-fledged Android device. It looks pretty convoluted. I think I'm just going to go ahead and find an ice cream sandwich capable device right out the box. I'm going to pay a little more than $1.99 to do it, but I'm also going to get a few more features as well.
What about the Note? I know you guys were playing with that the other day. What's your thought about that?
The Note would
That's probably
be
the best
in my
device.
pocket right now, if not for the idea that it is only available on AT&T.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's holding that.
Well, it
phone.
is coming to Sprint soon.
Tablet.
Just want to throw that your way.
Oh, Derek, that's good news.
You know, you just need to come on to Sprint.
Yeah, man, you get unlimited.
Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, it might.
So now, does that solve sort of your tablet phone
Yes.
dispute?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Probably. I don't know. See, I had to walk around with that. I had to walk around with it for a while, but dude, as I get closer and closer to the big 5-0, my eyesight is fading. It's the less inclined I'm to do anything on my phone, but to dial it and receive phone calls on it.
Put it like this, I think the Note is because I've seen all these rumors for the Apple iPad Mini. The Note will be the reason why the Mini gets created.
I think you're right. I think they may have
So-
found the sweet spot as far as
Because
just
it's
the
just
right,
big
just
enough
just big enough, just
Yeah.
small enough to put in your pocket, just big enough to
to act like you got a big screen in your hand.
They may have found that sweet spot as a concern.
And it's light, man. It's just like the Galaxy S2. It's light. You
a
would
couple of them rolling around
Yeah.
in the here in the Onyx Tower. I want one, and they're just really, really expensive if you want to do it outside the AT&T network. And
was it
I
like
think I'm just gonna wait.
$500-$600?
Yeah, closer to
For what? For the
the
Note?
Note.
Really? Oh no.
With no contract.
I'm not. For no con. I was like, yeah,
man.
I'm not paying.
You know, it's
I ain't trying to pay. Let me say what's up to Tim Arthur, who just walked in the room.
He just got one.
What's going on, Tim? No.
jet back from the Apple Store.
All right. Okay, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna go take some pictures. We call this Daily Booth. But after the break, we're gonna talk
What it look
about something that's going on
What
with
are you
Google
wearing?
Plus, and we're gonna also talk a little bit more about Amazon and a new deal that they just launched as it pertains to their streaming service. So let's talk about that. But let's pull out our cameras
Did
right
they
now
buy, Netflix yet?
and let's take pictures.
By the way, I got iOS 5 over the weekend too.
All right, Daily Booth is where we go to take pictures. It's a free website, by the way. Go there right now. It's www.dailybooth.com.
It weren't free. We wouldn't be talking. I'm just saying.
You can pull out your webcam, your cell phone, or you can just upload a picture. Whatever is easiest for you. And once you do, share that URL with us right here in the chat room. That way that we can see what you're up to. Also, if you are listening on an archive show, or, let's say you're listening from afar and you're nowhere near a computer, don't worry about it. You can always go to dailybooth.com.
Yep.
And you can follow me. I'm at Damon Nolan. That's dailybooth.com/Damon Nolan. And the guys are there too. Mm-hmm. So you can always hook up with them. In any case, feel free to post your pictures. I see Mike just took one with his iPhone. So we'll take a look at that as you guys put them in there. So while you're doing that, let me just want to say one quick thing to Little Bites. Little Bites. So now that you have the Kindle Fire, how would you rate that to what you've seen with the iPad? I'm just curious. And then to Egoan, because I think you have the BlackBerry Playbook, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are about that one as well. And we're just looking at tablets, right? Just looking at this whole tablet idea and the future of that. I know Tim he's the proud owner of the original, the iPad 2, and soon to be the proud owner of the
thumbs up
iPad 3.
Yep, the thumbs up, no iPad 3 in his hand yet.
Yeah, Tim thumbs up the thumb. Hey, man, good to see you, sir. Always good to see you. My friend who will soon be the owner of an iPad 3. Just saying.
He's going to do it. He can't help himself.
It hasn't launched yet, so he doesn't have that pull just yet. It hasn't really, dawned on him, but you know what you know. Okay, so feel free to post those, and we're going to move on to the next story. We're going to talk a little bit about Google Plus. He says no. And he didn't just say no. He said no exclamation point. That really means something when you put an exclamation point behind it. That means no.
That means he hadn't seen one of his friends holding one yet.
Right.
That's what that means.
Right. I just not yet. I'm just not there yet. Maybe when it comes out and I see one of my boys using it. Little Bite says the only iPad I've seen to compare to it is my daughter's, so I'm not sure I can give any real opinion. Egoan says the playbook has a better OS concept than Android and iOS, but it isn't as well executed as iOS or Android.
Wait. An OS concept.
Right.
What does that sound like to you?
It sounds like Android. I'm sorry. What was I saying? Because they steal everything.
The concept of an OS. So it's a great idea, but it's a great idea until I put it in my hand, at which point it becomes poo. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what I got. Little Bite says, but I will say that I love the size of my Kindle. It goes everywhere I do. I mean, everywhere. I stress the everywhere part. The iPad is too big to fit into my purse. That's an interesting observation, though, right? Like, you can put this in your purse.
If you had one.
Right.
Assuming you have one.
So clearly, there's something to be said. I haven't found anything I can't do on my Kindle that my daughter can do on her iPad.
This conversation feels so guided, like in the direction that I don't want to go.
What? That Android's better? What?
Huh?
What are you saying?
There are a couple of iPad music making and music production applications that I would bet the farm are not available for Kindle, but
the creative types.
Well,
Yeah.
How about graphic programs and stuff?
Yeah, Photoshop Touch.
Mm-hmm. ...
Egoan says all the ways you interact with the playbook are great and feel much more natural than the competitors, but it's buggy as heck, though. Well, they just need to keep working on it. That's keep trying, son. Go back.
I mean, that's what I say about Windows.
I clearly, because you guys are always saying that.
Well,
it's the operating system.
That's the problem.
Let me say this: there's a lot of devices
system
that come out that try to be the device killer, but why don't like there's no playbook killer, there's no
because nobody cares about third place.
I mean, I'm just saying,
right? Like what that doesn't make any sense. If I'm number 2, like I'm gonna be the number 3 killer. Like whoop-de-woo.
But doesn't that mean
you're already killing it?
But doesn't that mean something if the iPhone or iDevices always have another device that's trying to kill it? Like,
well, isn't that? But that's what happens. Well, let's take a look at this presidential. And I won't go too far into the presidential thing right now. But let's just say this: whoever's number 1 in the race,
if you're scared,
is always the person. is always the person they're trying to gun for, right? Whoever's number one. So when Romney was number one, they're all gunning for Romney. Then Santorum gets into number one.
Right.
Oh, Santorum. You know, they don't talk about Gingrich and Paul. Why? They're just wasting money if they do. They're already underneath them.
I
Well,
wonder
the fact that they're both clinically insane probably doesn't hurt
Well,
either.
I just wonder if iPhone's gonna have to come out with a device that kills somebody else. I'm just saying.
Well, if you
If they
if
ever
you
move,
do,
if they ever move,
and I
from
don't think
number one.
I don't think it's the company that says it. Like, hey, we just built the iPhone killer.
That's what they do. They
No,
do.
I think it's other people that do that.
Samsung been saying that ever
No,
since
I don't think they say that we're the iPhone killer. I think
Sam-
other people say that. Like,
I mean,
this
yeah.
is the iPhone
Yeah,
killer.
that's what I mean. Like,
Right.
will there ever be a conversation where we're like, man, that new iPhone device is gonna be the
Samsung
Note
killer.
killer? Yeah,
Right.
like will that happen? I'm just saying.
Well, they have to first of all believe that they are no longer number one, and the minute they do that, then it's all downhill.
Oh, how I wonder by Mike Render.
Right. All right. So anyway, so Google Plus is now
What
updating
happened?
its photo album organizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming from somehow I knew somebody was going to say that too.
I'm so happy. Thank you.
Coming from
Breathe
Engadget,
easier.
there are 3 things that you can do with this new functionality, right? So you can select and delete multiple images in your Google Plus photo gallery.
Ah.
You can also move your pictures and copy them to other albums. That could be good,
Yeah.
right?
My secret stash album. I can finally.
And you can also
Decided.
resort them by date or any other option.
And we were talking about this for what reason now?
No, it's hot though.
You know,
couldn't do it
it's,
before.
you couldn't do it before, and so now Google Plus says, well, you know, again, we're talking about smaller iterations right now. You know, Google is good for this. They're not like, you know, this may not be ultimately like the best thing you've ever seen since sliced bread, but it is incrementally better.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
like 10 months from now, you're gonna be like, yeah,
I can finally.
sort by date,
get back to me when somebody's like using that joke.
last uploaded,
Right. Well,
group.
Don't they already own Picasa?
they do. They
Yeah.
do. But they are connected, by the way.
See,
The two are connected.
that's awesome.
You know. So if you upload a picture to Picasa, it automatically creates a photo gallery, which is not necessarily shared out of the box.
Is this a slow news day?
No, I just thought that for those of you who like Google Plus,
I'm just messing
You can
around.
get the newest
I can't
version.
because I love the Googles.
right? I gotta be fair. I can't talk about Facebook all the time.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Can't talk about it all the time. So Little Bite says, okay. Yeah, Photoshop Touch. I haven't played with any products or graphic programs on the Kindle. It's still saved for my laptop. Eagle says, I really think that the Windows Metro is going to be awesome for tablets.
I think so.
And we talked about that yesterday, the new Metro. And for those of you that may not remember or
Microsoft
you know
Plus?
or weren't there, one of the things we talked about is the new Metro is sort of the tablet version of Windows 8.
Oh, so it finally came out, or it's coming out?
No, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh, okay.
And the story we talked about yesterday with the Metro was that you could control which is going to be your default search engine on internet browser.
Huh?
So by default,
in theory, you should be able to remove and completely extract IE from the operating system for the first time in recent memory.
and make something else your default internet browser.
So what does that say about Microsoft?
It says that it recognizes
y'all,
the limitations.
I know my browser sucks, so when I come out with this tablet,
Well, they're going to come out with what, 10, IE 10 or something like that for the new one.
11.5, I think.
But so here's the thing. So even though you can use Metro is just a version of, so you can go back to like your regular desktop Windows 8 version,
Right.
or you can flip into Metro mode, which would be more like a tablet
mode.
And see the difference between the regular desktop Windows 8 version is going to be a lot like Windows 7 in that, you know, it's made for desktops, for example, but it will be dramatically redesigned so that you're not focused so much on folders anymore, but now you're focused on sort of like if you were going to navigate this thing with your thumbs.
I'm scared.
right? So it's going to be
Sounds so
dramatically different than
Sounds
what
so
it was in the
different.
past.
And scary.
Well, it could be exciting too. Think about it. Think about like I was pointing out. We were talking about tablets a moment ago, but think about if the operating system on your tablet is a Windows 7 operating system. That means you have to like zoom in to touch the start button, right? Or you got to like scroll up to find the folder to do what you want. Well, in the new version of Windows 8, it will work a lot like your phone, where you got these bigger chunks of data and you just push a button and it opens an app. Right? The fact that you can swipe your hand across the screen and it moves the screen or it moves on to the next application.
Is it like Connect? Do I actually have to touch the screen?
Well, I think unless you have the Windows Connect for computers, for PCs, then you probably won't. But it can be touchscreen though, so you can just swipe across. Now, in this case, if you don't have a touch screen, you could just use your mouse and do all these things as if you had thumbs. And so the navigation is going to be slightly different. You're doing a lot of stuff from the side panels versus the little start button in the corner. So it will be different. And I think the way you look at it. So Metro, according to what we're seeing here, is definitely going to change the game. Little Bites continues to kind of talk. She says, keep in mind, too, I'm not looking to do any real text-heavy stuff. You know, I read, play games, watch Hulu, Netflix, etc. And she's talking about her Kindle Fire. And she says that my first tablet ever, one of the reasons I wanted it because the Amazon store. So I'm not a big fan of Apple, and so Amazon store you get like all these really cool things, you know. So anyway, that's the new thing with Google Plus. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Amazon with this next story, as a matter of fact, and this is kind of right in line with where Little Bites is going. But Amazon is just launched inked a new deal with Discovery Communications. That would be the makers of the Discovery Channel, right? Animal Planet, all those different shows and whatnot.
Right.
They now have license to use all 25 years of programming from the Discovery Communications company. And you'll be able to get this on Amazon streaming service, which I think they call Prime Instant Video. And this going kind of back to your point, though, earlier, you can get for $79, you get this thing called Amazon Prime, right? Which means you can get, it's not like 2-day service. You get these video streaming. You get a number of benefits for being a part of this program, which is in line with pretty much what Little Bites is saying right here. Is she saying, look, I can watch video, so she can watch Netflix, she can watch Hulu, and now she can even stream via the Prime Instant Video, right?
Prime.
So some of these things are kind of new. So here's the thing. As far as the catalog goes, Amazon streaming catalog has 17,000 titles today, and in matter of fact, they added 2,000 since February. So they're really working hard to get some more content. Bloomberg, however, said that Amazon has not convinced enough people to join their Prime membership so far. So even though they have some numbers as far as videos go and they have this really cool service, it still has not quite gotten people to spend that $79. Even though there are people who do. Like, again, I go back to Patrick O'Keefe, for example, who is a huge fan of Amazon Prime. And uses it for like everything. Egon says, so if Amazon teamed up with LG and Asus, would they put out the Amazon Optimus Prime?
Swish.
Very well done, sir.
Sweet.
Very well done. So, anyways, what do you think about the new Kindle and this new deal? Derek, I'm gonna turn to you. Look as it pertains to this streaming service and how it plays against Netflix, but together with Kindle Fire and all these new services. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it falls right in line with two things that we've been talking about in previous shows. One, Amazon, the reason that they are keeping the price point so low on the devices is to draw people, persuade people to come into the store. And it looks like more and more that we're going to be getting our video content, streaming video content from a variety of curators/channels. And those premium products, those premium providers and or packages of providers could look a whole lot like one's cable bill, whereas you pay for those for those content providers that you want,
Right.
or levels thereof.
Right. Yeah.
Ego had a great insight. That's the same model that video game consoles have used for years.
What did
right.
he say? Oh, that's what he said. That's the same
right.
model. Right.
That's right.
So, Mike, what do you think?
No.
Together, Kindle Fire, together with Amazon Prime and these new streaming services and Amazon Discovery Channel, I can just see you now watching Animal Planet.
Dude,
you and your cat
it's just going to make Netflix
sitting there watching.
It's just going to make Netflix cheaper for its imminent buyer.
I mean, I think
It's not going to happen, but I appreciate that.
Oh, it is going to happen. It's probably not going to happen by Easter, but
Yeah.
they're not the only game in town.
So, like, what if it happened like the day after Easter, Derek? Like, what would you do? Just be
Give me
I
my
would,
$20.
I will.
Give me
A
my
good
money.
a good man pays his debts. He may not necessarily do so without a few curse words, but
some Yosemite Sam.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Hornbracken, Rizafracken,
Yeah.
Prickenbracken. You know what he's trying to say.
Keep the hardware lowish at first and make money off the games. Yep.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me say hi to Random Brain Activity. That's Bob H.
Hey, dude.
I also
What's
have guest 5120 is here, and I want to say what's up. And we're just talking about finishing up our conversation about Amazon and the new deal they have with this Discovery Channel, or the Discovery Communications, which gives tons of new shows to their online Instant Prime video service. And that is the new deal. I don't know if it is going to change anything for me as of yet, as it pertains to Netflix, because Netflix still works. But I just wanted to share that with you.
Not as well.
Yeah, it doesn't, man. I was trying to watch School Days and I couldn't find it.
Nope.
I was trying to get a disc,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have that service. So.
It only takes a day or so.
But I don't have that service.
Oh, gotcha. Well, maybe I'll get it for you.
And in spite of it all,
Whackness.
that is where the bulk of their money is still coming from, by all indications.
But
It
Amazon
costs
has
them
it.
more money to do it, but that's where the products are coming from. The disc.
Right.
Amazon has it and iTunes has it. Dun, 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 dun.
But don't you have to pay for that?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Well, there you go.
And I'm not paying. So I'm not watching.
All right, we're going to get ready to go into another break. We're going to do Blog Roll in just a moment. But let me tell you what's on the other side of Blog Roll. We're going to talk about a couple of things. One, we're going to talk about...
Listen to this guy with the teases.
right.
Nice.
Which is better for engaging with your fans, Facebook or Twitter? Facebook
What?
or Twitter? Facebook or Twitter? That's the study. I have some new results. We can talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about whether or not Facebook should up or decrease the age limit for getting on the service. Is 13-year-old the right age? We'll talk about that after the break. So let's jump into Blog Roll. And this is where we take a look at what you guys are writing, what you're putting out there into the blogosphere. Today we got 3 stories. And also, just so you know, if you've written a blog and I have not been talking about it, it probably means I'm not following it, and I didn't do it on purpose. But by all means, let me know that you're writing, and I will put it in my reader
We're rolling.
and share it right here
Not
on
your
the show.
mistresses, not your nemesis.
And if you're not writing because you're not writing, then I guess you better get to writing.
Commence the chopping.
So today we're going to start with, really it's 2 stories. It's one story into 2 parts.
Huh?
It's one story into 2 parts. And this one is written by Marianne from her blog, Little Bites. And I want to share, the name of the article is called Don't Bank on It. It is a very interesting story that she has written in 2 parts. And it's like a drama that's unfolding right before your eyes. All I can tell you at this point is that it is about a bank, and it is about the problems that she is experiencing right now with a bank. And it is in 2 parts for a reason, probably because it is an ongoing story, and it definitely merits.
So you're saying
read.
it hasn't played out yet?
Well, I think it's going to continue. Yeah, I think it's going to continue until there is some resolution. Let me share this link with you guys. You can go to marianneh.com. That's marianneh.com, MarianneH.com, to get this story and all of her stories. One of my favorites, obviously, is her videos. She likes to do a little bites of video. Here's the link in the chat room. There are 2 parts, and let me give you, if you go to Don't Bank on It, which is the first story, there is a part 2 that you can get all the details. I'll share that one as well, so you guys can check that out. Make sure if you're reading it, or when you read it, go over there and let her know that you read it, and also let them know that you heard about it right here on Room 3026 Live. We definitely want to go support our own, because we need to support. If we don't support, who will? Yeah. So get over there.
Love is its own excuse.
Marianne from the chat room says, I need answers. So go over there. Read it.
There are no answers, love. But with the bank, yeah, they should at least try to do something.
And it's funny because Eileen said, and this is totally unrelated to anything that we just talked about, but she says, I hate to say this, y'all, but I think I'm beginning to like Facebook.
I'm
Yeah.
Shocker.
I'm fainted.
Yeah.
I fainted.
Yeah.
Ka-thunk.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, Eileen has repeatedly said that she did not like
Less
Facebook.
than no love
Right.
for Facebook.
So it's kind of interesting to see that she is changing her stripes a little bit, which is exactly where Tim would like for me to go with the iPhone, to change my stripes.
Yep.
If Eileen can love
And with
Facebook,
WordPress.
if Eileen can love Facebook, maybe the word love is a little too strong. She says I'm beginning to like it. But if Eileen can do that, then there might be hope for me in
There
the
might
iPhone.
be hope for us all.
Right. All right. The next story that I'd like to share with you comes from Tim Arthur. He has a blog, which you guys may know. It's called podcastingtutor.com. That's podcastingtutor.com. The name of the article is called Blog World and New Media Expo 2012. Tim has been talking about this for a minute. He says, I want to go to Blog World. And it looks like he might be going sooner than we thought. There is, and on his blog, if you go there, again, that's podcastingtutor.com, you can get the dates. It's going to run from June 5th through the 7th. It's in New York City at the Jacob Javits Convention Center. Now, here's the thing. You can actually buy a ticket right now for $197, right? That is a 3-day blogger podcaster pass that lets you get in there and you can enjoy the fruits of whatever they talk about. Now, so, like iJustine will be there, as I understand it. You also, Chris Brogan will be there. Leo Laporte will be there. Gary Vaynerchuk will be there.
They're all rather internet famous.
They will be
to
there.
varying degrees.
So you can potentially meet them
Right.
if
I
you
already bought them
go.
online.
You can meet them in person,
Yeah.
right? So $197 to go, but that is only good up until the 22nd of March. You're talking about a little over a week away now to buy this ticket. Now, if we go ahead and get your ticket. Maybe we can ride up there. I don't know how we'll get around or whatever, but it'd be cheaper,
New
right?
York?
Just to get a car, right? It's on what, 9-hour drive or whatever? 7-hour drive, 9-hour drive,
Dude.
What?
right?
Dude,
What?
No.
book your ticket. Get on a plane. It's
Why-
about the same amount of gas.
Why would I do that? It would be fun. It's a road trip.
Man, it's not no
Right.
9 hours. I know that.
Nah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's not 9 hours. How long does it take to get there?
Like 14.
What kind of? How are you driving? You must be driving the long way.
Which way you gonna go?
Going home to Chicago. I mean to
Dude, if you're driving
Chi-Town.
through like Washington D.C. on a Friday, 14 hours is not out of the realm of possibility.
I really have a hard time thinking it would take 14
That's
hours
the worst
to get from
traffic.
here
That's the worst
to
traffic
New York
in
City.
America.
Well, either way,
Look. You can spend the same
should
amount of
go.
money, get on a plane,
we should go.
and spend the balance of hours in New York City.
We should go.
Okay, 12 hours then.
We should go. We should go. We should go together.
I love that
Let's
idea.
all go and meet at the Blog World.
I
Well,
love
Leon
that idea.
says it's 8 hours.
8 hours. Thank you. And he knows because he's been there many times. And I would say Tim knows too because he's been there many times as well. So I would trust it. If we go, it only costs $200 if you get a ticket before now. Now, here's the thing. If you wait and you say after the 22nd, it will go up $100 to $297.
Balling.
And if you wait even further, it's going to go up again to $397. So it would behoove you to go over there and get your ticket now. Now, here's the thing. Tim also has on his blog, he has a discount code for an additional 10% off that price. So you can save yourself about $20. So really you'll be spending $180 or so. That's a deal, right? That's a deal.
Yeah.
So think about it. I think it will be worth going. I would like to go. Now that I know more and more people are going to go, I think it would be great if we all kind of just went.
Really?
Yeah. I think it'll be fun. It's Blog World. Have you ever been before? We didn't go to
Yeah.
South by Southwest, so
Plenty of times.
Mike, come over
I
here.
want to go to South.
Come over here, Mike. Come a little bit closer.
What?
All right. What'd you say, Derek?
I want to go to South by Southwest.
Yeah, I'd like to go to that too. I just can't afford the cost of going right now. I'm sure it's probably cost a lot of money,
Yes.
and I ain't trying to pay. All right, so go to podcastingtutor.com, podcastingtutor.com to get that story and get your 10% discount. All right, so let's see here. Oh, so here's the latest story. Which one do you think engages your fans more? Facebook or Twitter?
Doesn't it
Facebook
depend on
or
what
Twitter?
kind of fans
Facebook
you are?
or Twitter? Well, let's look at engagement.
Fan
Let's look at engaging and engaging your fans,
page.
engaging your people, engaging your followers. Which one do you think, in a show of hands, do you think would be which has more engagement, Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
It depends.
No,
It depends
Facebook
on
or Twitter? Say
it
one.
depends. On the psychographic, I'm a consultant.
Pick
the answer
one.
to all questions
Pick
worth
one.
asking
Pick
is
one.
it depends.
I give you 2 seconds. Pick one.
Depends.
That's not an answer.
It is.
It's one or the other, not both.
It is not.
It is one or the other.
All fans are not the
You
same.
are such a cheater,
All
Cheater,
fans are
cheater.
not the same.
chip eater. So Mike says Twitter. Eileen says Facebook. Aaron says Facebook. Eileen
Pinterest.
says Facebook again. Little Bite
Face
says definitely Facebook. Eileen says Facebook again. That's 3 Facebooks from Miss Eileen. Also, Ignoant tries to jump in and cheat as well and says YouTube. And then Bob, who is a scientist, who says in line with Derek,
It depends on the
says it
target
really
audience.
depends.
Twitter.
Boom, 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 boom.
Phone call. Candygram. Strippergram.
What? Candygram? Am I too young?
So,
a
so,
strippergram.
Am I too young for that too?
Yes. Yes.
so here's the thing. According to this research, this study,
Twitter.
it says that Facebook
What?
is the more engaging tool as it pertains to
A visit to
conversation
the
and
fan's
dialogue
home.
with its fans.
But doesn't the app mention, ain't that engaging?
No.
How not?
Well, I'll put it to you this way: there were 10 brands that this
Break through the window.
there were there were 10 different brands that this study looked at, and 6 of them had better engagement with their fans on Facebook than they did on Twitter. However, there were 2 companies or 2 brands that did better on Twitter, and then there were some of the other ones in between that were sort of like didn't really matter one way or the other.
So the
Ransom note.
retweets and the app mentions don't count as engagement.
No, they obviously do because Twitter won in 2 cases. So let me give you the companies real quick. There were 10 brands that they were looking at. Starbucks, Red Bull, Converse, PlayStation, iTunes, and McDonald's.
Oh yeah, with all those kind of
Had-
fast food, pop culture food items. Yeah, I guess for that, all those audiences are kind of the same. So-
Facebook.
All those are Facebook.
Oreo and Skittles food did
fast
did
junk
better
food.
did better on Twitter.
I mean, they ain't saying nothing.
Coca-Cola, Pringles did
Oh, so
better
junk. So
did the same on both Twitter and Facebook.
so junk food.
It depends on the brand.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on the type of product, even.
Skittles.
Well, according
Skittles
to this,
versus Oreos.
yeah.
Oh, there's a big difference in the. But you call that a study?
I'm just telling you what they said.
Skittles.
According to this study, right? According to this study, they said it really just depends on the strategy that you use to engage. They said that with Twitter, you have to be more out of the box thinking to engage your people. It's faster, it's immediate, but Facebook overall just has a more engaging platform, more than Twitter. So it just depends. And again,
I know he's talking about the platform.
yeah, Facebook versus Twitter as engaging goes.
As the platform.
Yeah,
Facebook has a better platform, but I think
not better just as in better, but better because it helps engage brands more, or help brands engage with their fans.
I disagree.
Because they can talk. Because one of the things they said here is that with Facebook, you can really talk more about your feelings. And this is a direct quote that says, Facebook engages people in conversation and a dialogue, providing its fans with a feeling of exclusivity. They can access all the brand's interesting content and pictures, albums, links, status updates, and more. This network is great for companies that mainly want to build a relationship with their fans and share emotions that they want their brand to convey.
I disagree.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, I guess it does. If I'm big on Skittles and Oreos,
but it's not like they're sending you a message or anything. I mean, it's still.
What do you mean?
It's still like the exclusivity that you were referring to.
Exclusivity.
Like exclusive. It's social media, so how exclusive?
How
can
exclusive
you be?
can it be? Exactly.
It's like
I clicked the like button and you didn't.
If Oprah sends me an @mention, that's for me. It ain't for
that's
everybody
different.
else.
Exactly. That's what
But
I'm talking
if
about.
Oprah sends me a message on Facebook versus posting on my walls, I mean,
Well,
the message is more exclusive because only
how many
me and her can see that
people
message.
do you have I think when you look at Facebook, there's like a room for a conversation with a number of
Yeah,
people.
that's why I
You
was
know.
like, yeah, the platform is built for engagement. But I don't think people engage more than they would on Twitter just because the platform's different.
Well, I find just in my own, and this is my own observation, I find that Twitter is way more engaging.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can post the exact same comment or statement or whatever on Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter,
Twitter's gonna be booming.
and no, Facebook will boom way more than Twitter or Google Plus, because here's the thing: somebody sees a comment that someone made on that or whatever, and then it can engage people into having conversations, and especially if you, as the person who posted it, kind of engage people around it to say, well, what do you think about this, Derek? What do you think about this, Mike? And then the two people can even talk because they can see each other.
I like the red Skittles
Why do you like the red Skittle?
because they're red.
We feel
Does this mean you want to join a particular organization that wears red? Let's talk about that, shall we?
I don't know.
So, I don't know. That's just my own personal observation. And I've tried to kind of hold conversations, and I almost feel like Google Plus is not really a conversation place. And maybe that's just my own observation. I mean, maybe some of you get a better turnaround, but I almost feel wrong for posting a personal comment on Google Plus. I almost feel like based upon who is out there, a lot of times it's just techie people, which I wouldn't be surprised about. So they don't want to talk about personal stuff. They want to talk about techie stuff. And so there's not a lot of dialogue there. Whereas on Facebook, I mean, dude, you can throw anything out there practically, and somebody's going to be able to have a conversation. And in Twitter, it goes in one ear and out the other. And you're like 2 seconds later, it's gone and never to be seen again, unless you got like 5 friends and you just happen to see my post a day later.
I guess from that point, yeah.
So what are they saying from the chat room right now? I see there's a lot of conversation there.
Facebook gives you more options. You can like, share, send a group comment, and like comments. That is from Eileen. And she continues, Twitter, all you can do is mention or retweet, and that's it. And truthfully, for me, when I want to engage with somebody that I'm not actually on the phone with, that's really all I want.
Right.
But plus Facebook, it's easier for a post to get a thread of comments, and that's what Egoant says.
Yep.
And with Twitter, you comment, then people answer you back, but people don't get into discussions with each other as much, and that's what
I agree.
It really just depends on what you consider engagement. And
Retweets.
Right. Pretty much.
Mentions.
Right.
But I just see Facebook with just so much garbage, man. There's this so much.
Yeah,
there is, but Twitter is too, though.
It's like if it's not you guys or people from the show, I'm not just doing a lot of discussions. Not even with like talking junk between sports. It's like really short.
Oh, no, I gotta say this real quick. If you get 5 people in the conversation on Twitter, this is Egoant, and reply all, it takes up full 140 characters, and all you can say is LOL.
That's true. And Little Bite says, I still love Google Plus and wish I had more friends over there. Just a matter of time, dear. I think people are going to get tired of the clutter that is Facebook. At least I am. I know more people are on Facebook than G+. That's just for now, though.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard it here first.
Hey,
I want
thanks,
to say
y'all
thank
are-
you guys. Alan Tran, DB Funky, Dyslexic in America, Eagle
and
Win,
chat
Miss
with the
Eileen, Little Bites, Random Brand Activity, Tim Arthur, and all of you listening live in an archive. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget, we're here every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on blogtalkradio.com/Damon Nolan. And you can get the higher quality audio over there on youtube.com/Damon Nolan. I want to say thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
You know what?
Until then, Mike Render.
Blog Talk Radio is the most engaging platform.
Deuces.
We're over the hump. It's a blog post.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
You know what, though? I think Eileen may have a point. What'd she just say? She says,